It's Monday morning after Sunday, and the staff is scurrying to capture all the data from yesterday: visitor cards, attendance, contributions, group rosters updated. Question: does anybody on your staff ever see all the benefits your congregants gain from this work? Most churches type it into the system, file it away, and move on to the next step. And they never once get to see the payoff on the other end. That's what today is all about. 5 stepping stones so far in this series, and we have been building a system that serves your staff well. Today we will reach visualizing that preparatory work. Did you miss some of the foundational videos? Go back and make notes on those, as today will have more value as you arrive here. Why does clean, centralized data actually matter beyond looking organized on a report that nobody reads? I sat with a church staff member not long ago whose visitor follow-up was living in 3 different places: a spiral notebook at the welcome table, a spreadsheet the admin kept, and whatever the greeter remembered to text the pastor. 6 weeks later, they could not tell me how many first-time visitors had come back for a second time. Not an estimate. They genuinely did not know. This is not a critique of that staff. Every one of them cared. The heart was willing, but the data just never had one home to live in. Here's the flip on the old saying. You've heard it before: garbage in, garbage out. A church called it GIGO. Well, I want you to hear it the other way. Good information in means good information out. Think of that as GIGO, as they said. One system as the source of truth, not a notebook here and a sticky note there, means the payoff shows up automatically. Less manual entry and re-entry for your staff. The real answer in seconds when a pastor asks who has not been heard from in 6 weeks. A real answer when someone needs a call this week who has been quietly drifting away before they disappear permanently. This is a journey of promotion and education for the congregation, not your staff, your congregation. Do members know how to update their own address and phone number in the system without your admin having to chase it down every time mail bounces because they moved? Can a member pull up their own giving and stewardship history and their ability to see and manage their giving tools and see their group involvement without having to call the office? Adoption is the real measure here. If nobody outside your staff ever touches the system, it is not central to your church. It's just another staff tool with a nicer interface. The next video will discuss the process of introduction and promotion, teaching, and accomplishing true integration of these tools with the congregation. Now say this phrase slowly with me: CCC. Church being community with a digital tool of communication. Not church replaced by a digital tool. Order does matter. For Realm churches, that tool has a name. It's called Realm Connect, and here is where the difference matters. It lives on a member's phone in their pocket, not just on a staff desktop somewhere in the building. I call Connect our Star Trek transponder for fun. One device keeps the whole community in communication no matter where they are on the ship or in life. Connect is available on Android through Google Play and on Apple devices through the App Store. Same congregant experience either way. They can access this with the same email and the same password, whether they are on mobile or on a browser, on a tablet, laptop, or desktop. It doesn't really matter which CHMS platform you use. There's probably a CCC tool for your church. I will use Realm terminology for our conversation today. So what does a congregant actually do inside of Connect? Think of this as the heart of CCC. Think of it as social media and more for your church family. It's privatized to only your congregation and staff. The only advertisements there are those that you create to promote events, seasonal ministries, and church family communication. Congregants can post and read and react to messages within their own individual groups and react to the church feeds so that they know what's going on. They share photos from ministry and mission activities, those extraordinary moments that build a sense of shared life. They see their volunteer assignments and raise their hand for new opportunities. They RSVP for events, sign up to bring an item to that event, and see who else is coming, as well as check themselves and their family in so that that's a step they don't have to do when they get to the church. They can view and manage their own giving. They can update their own profile. Here's the guardrail I want you to hold on to today. If the app only ever gets used in giving and check-in, it has quietly become a transaction tool, not a community tool. The newsfeed and the group features, those are what actually make it CCC. Remember, church being community with a digital tool of communication, not just a church being data. So, how does your congregation even know that Connect exists? You already have a habit for this. We talked about it last time in session 5. Your worship screens prompting online giving, maybe a QR code next to a missions trip or a VBS campaign. That same screen real estate is a natural moment to introduce Connect itself, not the giving prompt, the community side. Put the newsfeed and the photo sharing ability up on that screen, not just information about the offering plate. Run a QR code for CCC adoption the same way you already run one for stewardship and giving. Because here is the honest truth. The screen that only asks for money teaches your congregation the app is a transaction tool before they ever discover it is one community. So here's the question I want to leave you sitting with today. What would it take for your congregation to see your CHMS tool not as a staff's database, but as a tool that helps your church actually be a community? That is the real payoff next week in Block 7. And honestly, it might be the real payoff for everything we've covered in this series. Next week, we'll start pulling all 6 of those foundations together, and I want to show you what it really looks like when a church gets this right, beginning to finish, or at least a great introduction. You will not want to miss it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with a friend, fellow pastor, or church staff member who is chasing data across 3 different notebooks. Know your congregation. Blessings to you, your family, and your flock. I'll see you next week.